I'm doing well. How are you?
Chillin', chillin'.
Perfect. How was your night out?
Oh, how was I? About as good as it
Sounds
can
good.
get with the shit going on.
Yeah. Yeah, do you have to wear a mask and stuff?
Yeah, no one likes wearing masks, but we have to.
Yeah, I feel that. I started wearing some like face wrap thing. It's kind of weird, but it's a bit more convenient than a mask.
All right, what was your OPGG again?
Smooths. or smooth with an S. Yeah, I don't know if you remember, but you helped me out with before my OKLCS season or
Yeah,
the
yeah, I remember, I
finals.
remember, I remember. Yeah,
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah,
you
you
guys
actually.
lost, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you helped me a lot with Diana specifically, and
Yeah,
we that was like the pick that got us to the finals, and it just became perma-banned. Uh, I think a lot of the tips you gave me like cleaned up my gameplay a lot with it, or at least my build path and everything.
yeah. All right. So, what do you think? What do you think's becoming your issue now?
Well, what you call it? I think so. When I first messaged you, I was like plat 4 0 LP.
Mm. It's your
Um,
problem now.
yeah, I'm plat one. I lost a few games like yesterday and the day before. So I feel like I've been improving a lot. But recently, I think the biggest problem has been like I'm just not like popping off in any of my games right now. Like it feels like I used to be able to hard at least in like low plat I was just hard carrying a lot of different games, but right now it's like I don't know. I feel like my performance is really consistent. Like I feel like I'm playing well,
Mm.
but I'm not excelling. Like I'm not just smashing my lane opponents. Like I'm consistently able to go at least even with them.
Yeah.
Like I just stagnate the lane, get even farm. Like try to get 10 farm a minute, or 100 farm 10 minutes, and then
Yeah.
like TP to side lanes, roam when it's possible. But I'm not like taking over games in the same way that I have in the past, I guess, with like
Yeah.
Taliyah mid and stuff.
Makes
So I don't
sense.
know.
Makes sense.
Yeah, maybe
All
it's
right.
just I'm not pushing my lead forward or something like that. But I don't know.
All right. Let me try my screen really quick. All right, you can see this, right?
Uh, yes I can.
All right, so I do like the fact that you're still mostly just sticking to like a few things, right?
Yeah, 3 champions. I
All right.
I've had to throw in Oriana and kind of awkwardly. Just it was a really weird draft phase. But Diana, Zed, and Nocturne are the 3 champions that I pick all the time.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot actually. You're not spreading your champion pool too thin or too much.
Yep.
Which obviously it seems like the your main performer is actually Zed.
Yeah,
This
he is my favorite by far. I'm like most comfortable on him.
I can see that. This is the champion where it looks like you're always dominating with actually.
Yeah, if I'm gonna carry a game, it's usually gonna be on Zed. I pick like I like picking Zed the most, but Diana is just like my go-to blind pick because I can just
Yeah.
deal with a lot more matchups with her. Um,
I'd say like
but
the biggest thing so far is it does seem like you've just been enjoying Electrocute a lot more. Right.
I went to Phase Rush for a while,
Mm.
um, and I was almost exclusively running Phase Rush, but then I actually had a coaching session with like a Diana one trick because I was wanting
Mhm.
to iron out some of my gameplay with her some more. And he was like, at least he played really aggressive, and so I changed to what he was doing with his runes to like a much more damage focused setup. And at least for this, like some of the quality of these games, like it pays off. Like it just lets me one shot people a lot more consistently.
Yeah.
But there's some matchups if I'm playing like Diana top, like I'll run Phase Rush still or something.
Okay, okay. You know what Dyna one trick that was?
Um, two Diana, like two Diana something. Um, I'd have to go find his name. Uh, he streams, but I'd have to go to my Twitch maybe to
Is
find
it
his
S
name.
Diana 2?
S Diana 2, yeah. Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh god. May God help you.
Yeah, yeah. He seemed really interesting. I don't feel like I got the best analysis from him,
Mhm.
um, but he,
I'll be real, dude. Nobody really likes that guy.
yeah. Oh, I think he's a pretty young guy. I think he's pretty young and a little immature. Uh, but he mechanically was he was kind of the reason I wanted to see how he played Diana, because I play it much more like reserved, I guess.
Yeah, because I'd be honest, if you're playing more reserved, Electrocute's not very good.
Yeah.
I just think in general, Electrocute's just not very good in general.
Mm.
Because, if we're just gonna be real, Dyna's a type of champion right now where, like, if you're actually solo killing somebody pre-6, it's more so they're playing bad more than your champion's actually good.
Sure.
Because, it really just depends, but, in general, I feel like Dyna's supposed to be weak early, right? And like if you're taking Electrocute and you end up falling behind early, you just feel more worthless, right? Where like if you had something more like Conquer or like Phaser, like I've been playing Dyna a little bit more as well. I played a couple games of her, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I
A
think
couple
I've seen a few.
games. Oh, this champion is just fucking pain in high elo, um, but yeah, like even then, like see a guy who feel like he's doing pretty well with her, like this guy, right? Like decent amount of games played, 60% win ratio.
Yeah.
In general, almost everybody in Korea only plays Phaser Steiner.
Mm. I do like it a lot for like matchups
This was
where
like
I feel
two
like I
months
have to
ago.
run.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Uh, Even then, I know Suntail is a supporter of Electrocute, but as you can see with Suntail, it's either he is one-shotting everybody or he's just giga worthless, right?
That's accurate. Yeah, I've watched his streams before. He's very hit or miss with his gameplay. Well, with a lot of his builds too. It's kind of
And that's
interesting.
just I think that's just the kind of thing that Electrocute Diana kind of like supports, right? Like you're either going to be worthless or you're going to be, just killing everybody, right?
Sure.
Here's like a really good guy. Hopefully this guy has a lot of games played. All right.
Conqueror.
He likes Conqueror a lot. Where like, see, this is different, right? Where like you're playing Electrocute TP, which is one thing I don't really like a lot because TP as a rune is basically saying that you want to play more defensive, you want to
Sure.
play more to scale, you want to play more for later in the game. Where like I feel like if I was gonna go Electrocute, I would just go Ignite every game because like the only reason you're taking Electrocute actually is to just get an early cheese kill.
Mm. Mm.
Because the
Yeah.
thing is like if you actually care about having more damage, Conqueror is just gonna be better, right?
Sure. Yeah, it's better
Like
consistent.
obviously, unless you just one shot somebody, then obviously Electrocute's gonna be better. But like if you're hitting someone for more than like 2 or 3 seconds, like you would just get more damage off of Conquer overall, right? And like the thing is also with Phase Rush, it may not seem like it's a damage rune, but sometimes you moving at somebody rather than having to use a second part of your E to land your to get multiple ults off is sometimes more beneficial than just extra damage, right?
Yeah.
Or like Electrocute isn't like an insane amount of damage. Where like this guy, he's only really playing Conquer. Where like I think that's one thing I would probably be saying right now is if you're gonna stick with Electrocute, I think you should go Ignite, just like Suntail.
Mm. Yeah.
Um,
Play for the
because
lane.
like yeah, this guy doesn't actually play much Diana anymore. Wonder why.
I mean, she does feel like less impactful now for some reason to me. I don't know. I feel like a few months
Well,
ago.
yeah, I've been saying the higher you go, the worse the champion gets.
Mm. Is there like is it just her
It,
laning
the,
phases too?
it's just like she's it's like the same thing with like Annie, right? Where like your champion is just extremely straightforward and has a sheer weakness that a lot of people like the higher you go, the people will understand more and more on how to not just get shit on by that, right?
Yeah.
Where like one problem of Diana is like you got to realize like if you're facing a Syndra, right, and you obviously can't walk up to really auto the wave without losing like a portion of your health. You basically are stuck to be like using your Q to last it, right? Which overall just makes your wave management bad.
That's
So
true.
it just gets to a point where if a player is just smart with their wave management, they're just going to get you to a point where you either are required to all in the wave to just unfreeze, all in them because you just have to fucking shove the wave in, or you need your jungle to come help you. And it also just gets back to the same point where it's just like, well, what if your jungle never comes help you? Then you're just stuck there, kind of slowly falling behind, and then once you eventually do try and fix it, you just get ganked, and now you're worthless.
Yeah, I've been in that situation a lot
Yeah,
actually. It's painful. It really is.
it is. But Dyna's also like, if you do get fed, Champion's pretty fucking insane. Where, um, I think the closest thing you actually get to Diana in terms of a champion, very similar, would just be Fizz or Silas probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Those
I've
are
considered them.
the two champions that are probably just Diana, but a little bit better.
Hmm,
Fizz is probably more along the lines of that, but Silas is also the more bruisery side of her as well. But
that's true.
I mean, obviously, like if Suntail can do this, event, someone else can too as well, right? Where like if you were playing Electrocute, I would probably just try and copy this guy. Or I don't really know much about SN2 anymore because he just always keeps remaking accounts, right?
Yeah, yeah, he does. He's pretty much not very consistent. From what I've seen, I tried like looking at all of his accounts and they're just like all over the place. I think the one that he was streaming on most recently was like low diamond or something.
Is this his name? See, this guy, he hasn't played on this account forever, but this is actually a guy where I would have been looking at Diana. I don't know what his new account was called.
Is this a North American guy?
Yeah, he always plays Conqueror though. He's actually 15.
God.
He's pretty solid at Diana. I don't know what his new. Okay, well that wasn't seeming too hard to find him.
No.
Obviously, you can kind of tell that he's starting to play Diana a little bit less, right? Even though, so he's just kind of moved into this, like right, like this, like think about his pull beforehand, like right, just like look at his pull beforehand, and then you could just like imagine like it's just he just started playing champions that he just thinks is just Diana but better, right?
Yeah.
Diana
yeah.
but better. Like it's basically just what he's moved into.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I think
obviously,
Silas is definitely. I think he's really strong, and I kind of wanted to. I've been wanting to pick him up. He just. I don't know. I haven't put the time in on him yet to feel like comfortable with
yeah.
like all the small details. I don't know. I might do
So
that
what
next
game?
season.
What game are we going over?
So that 8-7 Diana game that I actually played yesterday was a game that I felt like I played pretty well, and it went like we had a huge lead, or a really significant lead, and we still ended up losing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I felt like I was strong and was in a position to carry that game, but I did not.
All right, so that's the game you want to go over.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
I have a feeling I already know what's going to happen in this game.
And what's that?
Did you get kills early?
Um, kind of. I got like as many as Galio did. I had like three or
All
four.
right. Yeah. Okay. So like, actually, the one thing about this game so far is I already know that your runes are just awful, right?
Sure.
You're playing Electrocute into a whole team that you basically cannot one shot.
Yep. I was thinking about that against Galio. I was kind of worried. I was thinking that maybe like Conquer would have been better into him just because the transient.
Yeah, here, no matter what, I think Phase Rush or Conquer is just better. If you're looking to actually one shot people, Phase Rush is just better here because, like, the thing with the Phase Rush here is just like, if you can one shot somebody on their team, you're just gonna kill them instantly, even without Electro. Like the extra 200 damage off Electro isn't gonna change anything, to be honest, right?
Sure.
Like, let's be honest, full build Diana you're either one-shotting somebody, like regardless, right? Even with the extra 200 damage from electrocute, or you're not. So like the thing with phasers here is like you could go and you could one-shot this guy and get out right before anybody can actually like try and fuck with you, or like you just go conquer, right? Because like if you just look at their team, there's no way that like you realistically one-shot somebody very easily. Like it's probably just the Soraka, but at the end of the day, it's still just going to be like how are you going to one-shot somebody, right? They have the Galio, it was Soraka, and they all have ways to dodge your ult besides I guess Xin Zhao.
Yeah, yeah.
So
all of them are really hard to kill for me this game.
I think this is a little bit more like just tunneling onto your electrocute rune, where like no matter what, like there's no way you go electrocute in this game, right?
Yeah, I agree. I've just been kind of like autopiloting my electrocute rune definitely on Diana the last few games, or like the last like 20 or 30 games realistically.
Yeah. So obviously one thing you lack versus Galio is a aggressive jungler, right? So like if you do try and like hard shove into this Galio, you're just gonna die to Xin Zhao gank, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole issue of your champion versus Galio, and also Galio is probably actually one of the few champions that can actually out damage you while also surviving your damage.
Yeah, especially early on, he's really tough to kill.
So like your whole like priority in this early lane is to just make sure you don't lose any CS.
Sure. Yeah, it's always a slow laning phase, Diana versus Gil.
Yeah. I already know how this lane's just gonna play. Like your job is to just let him shove you in like this, because you just don't want to put yourself in a way where you're ever gonna die to the Xin Zhao.
That's true. Yeah, I have to give my Skarner time to hit 6 so he can be useful.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like this Galio in general is actually playing this lane bad, because he is just he's just shoving you in 24/7. Like being in this spot where you are right now is basically just a godsend for you, because like even if Xin Zhao was in this bush and this Galio like EQ'd you, or like you're still close enough to your turret where like you at least can survive from flashing, right?
Yeah, definitely. I do this with Zed and Diana a lot, is where I try to hold it in between these two pillars, like in this midpoint, hold the wave and like until at least I get level 6.
This is really what you wanted to be doing. By the way, also here, one, I'm actually like legit. I think if you actually had Conquer right now and Ignite, you actually probably end up killing him here or get his flash.
That's true, because then I just keep autoing him, and
yeah, you literally will just right click him down, right?
Yeah, it's true, actually.
So yeah, like especially here, like even with Electrocute here, I think you walking away here is really bad actually. Because like no matter what, he just did his whole combo and his W's falling off, so you're just gonna do more damage to him right now. And obviously, if Xin Zhao ends up being here, you always just be saving your E at this point, right? You're just at this point, if you didn't like do a click backwards here, you just click forward no matter what, right?
Sure.
It's actually one thing I've actually learned myself compared to the last time we went to this. I don't know if you know who Max Waldo is, right?
Like the Alice's friend?
Yes, he's a coach now, right? Like he basically lived with Max Waldo for like 3 years, and he's a big fucking brain now, right?
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of details you can tell from someone on how they're messing up, and that's actually literally the way they click their mouse.
Sure, like the direction that they're
Yeah, just how they're clicking, and like literally, if Max was watching this, as soon as you clicked away, he basically just said you grieved.
Because I guess I don't have the right thought process going on if I'm clicking away.
Yeah. Like, it's just you already don't he's basically just saying like you already don't understand the fact that you just hard win this no matter what, right? Like even if without Ignite or Conquer here, if you're just sitting there right clicking him, you probably get to a point where you're like, so like let's say you didn't walk away here, right? And you were right clicking towards him.
Yeah.
There's only like a few things that are going to go through this Galio's mind. He knows that he either has to just completely fucking run away, or he's going to try right-clicking you back, right? But if he right-clicks you back, you're just going to win. Because eventually your Q is going to come back up, so you get to get another QE, right? Yeah. And as long as you're waiting for your Q to come back up, you can save one of your E's to go back to this minion. if Xin Zhao is actually inking you. Like, let's say you start just right clicking him and he keeps walking away, and then like obviously his W is eased down, so you don't have to worry about that. Literally this whole entire duration back to his turret, you don't have to worry anything about that, right? So like here, no matter what, you get a flash, unless Xin Zhao's here.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that's actually awesome. I hadn't thought about that. I even have flash, and I mean, if I do get Xin Zhao pulled to my lane, that's just better for
Yeah,
solo
yeah, that's
queue.
perfect for you because you gotta realize, like, Xin Zhao, if Xin Zhao is saving this Galio's flash, he's not down here punishing these people, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and that's just this dream
And
for my teammates.
If Xin Zhao isn't here, you get this guy's flash for free. And if he flashes too late, you kill him,
Hmm.
right? Because like
Yeah.
let's say by the time he gets here, and you've auto tacked him down to at least right here, because like let's imagine, right? Your Q 4-second cooldown, so 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, right? Of just moving, right?
Sure.
That means your Q's back up. So you've probably at least gotten 2 or 3 autos off on him by then. And that's even saying if this guy's smart enough to actually walk away the whole time. Because if this guy ever turns around to right click you, he's dead, right? Like he flashes or he's dead. Because he has to walk away this whole time if you're already on top of him auto attacking.
Yeah, yeah. I just, huh. I think if I had this mentality going into a lot more matchups, like because I totally understand that I actually have
Because like I
I
think
have
in
the
your mind
damage.
you just see electrocute and you don't think of your champion as a right clicker.
Yeah, I'm just playing like a burst. Like I'm just getting my burst in, waiting for cooldowns, and doing it again. But
Yeah.
I literally can just auto attack because he's on cooldowns too, and I'm gonna out damage him.
Also, the same thing here is if you actually have phase rush instead of ignite, that actually increases the fact of you staying on top of this guy right clicking him the whole time. Like
Yeah.
obviously you would have lost out on how much fucking damage did your electrocute do, right? Hello?
I, I I guess it
Okay,
did.
it's probably doing max. It probably did like max like 25 or 30 damage, right?
Yeah, Galio's
Which
tanky.
when you want to think about that, if phase rush gets you 2 more autos off, even if phase rush gets you 1 more auto attack off than your electrocute didn't allow you to get off because you know the extra movement speed, you've actually done more damage than electrocute.
Sure. And I get my passive next auto.
Yep. So like imagine if you had phase rush here instead of electrocute, and it got you off 2 or 3 more autos off than electrocute wouldn't have done here, right?
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
also probably another passive, and you probably have just done like 80 more or 90 more damage than you would with without having electrocute, right? Probably more because you're doing 61 damage and he has 29 armor.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, you got to think about like the phase rush thing. Also, it just allows you to just right click people, and at this point in the game, right clicking someone is more damage than anything else.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No. That's true.
And I think this also just goes back to like I don't think you're actually using Diana to her like her full capabilities right now. Like I think all you're thinking about right now is she's just a burst get out champion. Where like yeah, she can be like that, but you also just gotta realize like not many champions can withstand just right clicking you the whole time. At least
Yeah.
other melees, right? Because like maybe this is a Syndra, and obviously since Syndra's just a ranged champion, she has a little bit more of
And she'll just chase me down afterwards.
yeah. By the time you actually have to turn around, if she's not low enough and you can't threaten her, she's just gonna right click you all the way back to your minions, right?
Yeah.
But like someone like a Galio, like when I just see this, like this is just a missed opportunity, right? Like he either is 100% dead here or 100% flash, or you pull Xin Zhao. So no matter what, you're getting something here. If you just knew that you should be right clicking this guy the whole time.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah. I think I can afford to be a lot more aggressive with these guys.
Because I think you had the right mind or the right process of just wanting to go in, but you just weren't right clicking them, right? You just wanted to go for your spells.
Yeah. I didn't go for the extended trade. Yeah, that's why so I like TP for that reason. So I might so I think sticking like I think the idea of getting rid of electrocute is actually pretty nice instead of sticking with ignite just because I think that I'm generally aware of the map enough to use TP well.
Yeah, that TP was fine. But yeah, I really just feel like Alexiu is just really bad.
I'm tending to agree now.
I just think your champion doesn't benefit off of Alexiu enough early to think it's just better than anything else. Like, obviously, you know, you can always say that, like, hey, Alexiu got me a kill here, but it's just like, you know, it's just, like, the way I see it, a lot of times when I think about runes for certain champions, it's just like, if this rune was actually the best, don't you think all the one tricks in Korea would be playing it?
Yeah, if the numbers were behind it, all of the best players would be using it.
Because, like,
Sure.
I mean, obviously, a lot of people just say, like, well, you can't just say Korea just always is just doing the correct thing, but it's just like, well, I think in general, one tricks of like subpar champions in Korea have to be doing the champion 100% perfectly if they want to actually win.
That's true.
So,
Their games
so
are
that's
much
fine.
more based on very small factors that win or lose them the game.
Yeah. So here, you know, Galio's going to base. This gives you actually a roam timer. So, um, like what you want to be thinking in your mind here is like this Galio 100% wants to base, right? Like he's sitting on like a lot of money because you've already based.
Yeah.
So we already know we saw Xin Zhao walk the side of the fuck, I can't speak. Like we literally watched Xin Zhao go to this side of the map, right?
Yes.
So we should already know that this ward is worthless.
True. Yeah, I think that's just an instinct ward, just not that's
Yeah,
just like a bad habit ward, really.
yeah. Also, I want to make sure if we actually saw the Xin Zhao. Did I go too far back?
Yeah, yeah. So
And this is after you got it.
he sprints through my lane.
So like in general, like if we see Xin Zhao come from this side of the lane and walk down this way, he's probably gonna go to the bot side, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So I just instinctively we should just know that we just hug the top side and we don't put a ward right there. And then we see him on a ward, so on top of that, yep.
yeah. So I did think that there's a chance that he ganks bot, so I hover for like a counter gank, but he's doing Krugs, so I end up having to go back. Like that was my thought process of going down there.
Yeah, I think that thought process is fine, but at the same time, I still think you should I feel like I feel like you just need to play more aggressively, right? Or not aggressively, more selfishly.
Sure.
Like, yeah, you can be there to try and stop, you know, the Xin Zhao ganking, which he did end up doing that. But the thing is you're still kind of like playing in a way where it's just like, well, what I'm doing here is based off of their jungle doing something, right? Where
Yeah.
like if you stayed mid and caught that wave, so like actually here, let's just go back for a second, right? Let's say you never actually walked a bot lane, right?
Yeah.
So like instead of saying you walked a bot lane here, you stayed mid and kept using your pressure to like, you know, just beat the Galio here, right? Like because this Galio should not be able to fight you,
Yeah, he's
right?
weak right now.
Unless the Jaws nearby. So what you actually should be doing is just like you want to be using. Obviously, you're walking in here because you see your bot lanes walking up and you know Zinjao's on the bot side of the map, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I panned my camera down because they're literally all under their tower. I'm like, oh, these guys are doomed.
Yeah. So like, I think this thought process is fine. Like, it does make sense on why you're going down here, but I just don't think.
It's
I
kind
just
of a
feel like
coin
it's
flip.
it's just kind of a coin flip play, right? Like, you end up either saving your bot lane here or you end up not pushing your lead mid,
True.
right?
Yeah, and I lose out in this situation.
And since you end up coming down here like this and nothing actually ends up happening, it just kind of fucks you over. Like it doesn't allow you to push your lead further anymore, right? Because like at this point in the game, since you backed and the Galio didn't, he should be falling a little bit behind, right?
Yeah, I should be able to like hold him in lane and force it because he has no TP.
Yeah. So like he should either be losing a wave when he wants to base, or he's just stuck in lane forever, not buying, right?
True.
And this would be a really good point for you to be just playing aggressive as possible, or like here, because you either want to force him to base, or you want him to force him to call the jungle to help him base, right?
At which
Because if
point
he,
I accomplish the same goal of
yeah,
protecting
and
the bot
also
lane.
since you're just up money, if your jungle's actually smart and he's playing around you because he knows you're up a buy, you guys win, right? Like if you guys end up doing a 2v2 here, you guys would win. just
Yeah.
because you're up a buy. Um,
Hmm.
so that's like one thing you want to be thinking, like in your like going through your head right now is like you're just up a buy, so you just want to keep like just pounding your elite into this guy, right? Like because if he ends up basing and you deny him a wave, then you either get a shit ton of plates for free or you go gank bot lane or something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But what I was seeing in my mind right now is like obviously if this Xin Zhao is ganking bot lane, his perfect time would be literally right now. But since he doesn't do this, it's actually a mistake from him, which you
sure.
were looking to capitalize on, but he didn't actually do it perfectly, right? Like this Xin Zhao should be right here ganking these guys right now, right? And if you were here, it's God tier. But if you actually stayed mid and you shoved this wave in and then walked bot lane, it actually would accomplish the same thing, but it would be better for you, right?
Yeah, I'd catch the wave, and then my bot lane might die, but I'll clean up kills, so I'll still be getting gold.
Yeah, so like imagine we shove this wave in and your wave right now is on this guy's turret and he's farming it, right?
Sure.
Then you walk down here with your jungle as well, and then you can actually end up counter ganking this, right? Like the thing is that timing actually leads up perfectly to this, even though this guy could have ganked bot lane earlier.
Yeah.
But like if your bot lane just ends up living no matter what, and then also you guys just go for this dragon. But now, since you were forced to go back mid lane to clear this wave, you're actually late to coming over to this.
Yeah, that's entirely true.
All right, first of all, we saw the first whoopsie here, right?
I know I kind of messed up my combo on. Well, their ADC just kept sprinting at us, and I was playing for. Yeah, I like whiffed my Q, and that was bad. But
Whiffing your Q kind of sucked here, but also I think one thing you're actually not doing here is like it kind of ends up fucking you guys over a little bit because like this goes back to the same thing. Why aren't you right clicking this guy?
it's true. It's literally a 2 HP Xin Zhao and a Soraka. I should just be auto attacking him. Yeah.
Yeah, this whole entire time, right? Like it's not even just at this point anymore. Like literally even at this point, like if you're not right clicking this guy, you're trolling.
That's true. Yeah. I guess it's like a weird instinct at this point where like I'm just playing like a hit and run style with Diana, whereas I really should
Yeah,
just be like committing after I go
yeah.
in. Yeah, I should commit a bit better.
Just the hit and run style, you'd be playing phase rush.
True. Yeah.
Um,
I would not be playing electrocute.
yeah, but like there also like since you weren't right clicking this guy the whole time, it actually like allowed this guy to live like 2 or 3 more seconds, and that's why this guy was here.
Yeah, he got just because I almost had time to flash out there. Like, had I got the kill just a second sooner.
Yeah. But that ends up really sucking for you because I think in general that whole play just ends up like that because that original time of you walking down there to try and it's actually really fucking lovely.
Well, I think the Xin Zhao hinted really hard.
Yeah, you did.
Skarner's finally a factor in the game.
I saw that.
I realize now that my E is so low damage that I can't use it to last hit. I've been trying the last like 2 or 3 games and it's just not worth it. I always miss the cannon if I try to do that.
Yeah. I actually can just kind of tell like just the way you play like in terms of your movement. That's actually why you have 59 CS right now, by the way.
Mm.
I don't think there's any world where you should have 59 CS right now.
Yeah, yeah. My farm was really bad.
And then also like what I've always been saying, like since you were the one having to base first, since all that happened, this guy was able to shove in a wave and now he has a roam timer to go for your ball lane, right? That's just like kind of the typical like thing that happens every time. If one person's basing, the other person gets a roam timer.
True. Yeah.
But the thing is even though this sucks for your Vayne, you get a shit ton of plates because you're Diana.
Yeah, the attack speed is nuts. Hmm.
So here you get the same thing. Now you can walk bot lane here, or if you don't think you can, you just try and take their wraiths. Which I like this. All right. So first of all, your Vayne does int here, right? Like she does int,
Sure.
but like I actually think here you should have just been walking bot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're guaranteed to be lower HP.
Also, even though your Vayne ints, if you're walking down here the whole time, and like let's say like, is there any way I can like, plant's not up anyways, but like let's say you were just walking down here, they see you on the ward, which kind of sucks, but you're being kind of turboed. It's fine.
Yeah, it was kind of a hard decision. I was definitely thinking about going down there, but I don't know.
If that pink wasn't in this bush or there was a cone, it would be so good for you guys.
Yeah.
But that's really good. Your TP was really solid. Your Vayne turboed again. That kind of sucks for you guys, but Garen gets a lot off of that.
Yeah, that was it felt really bad, but yeah, they committed so much to bot lane. I think like 5 people were down there essentially.
This is like where like there's like just no way in general where Phase Rush or Conqueror isn't just better than your Electrocute Rune right now.
Yeah.
So actually, here instead of just like walking over here in general, you probably should just been walking straight to this turret because, like, you need to just think in your head like, are you needed there, right?
Sure.
Which you weren't actually needing to be there. So just being here instantly on the mid turret just to start clearing this before he even gets here, you could have gotten that plate, and also you just get a lot more prio. Now you're just being a little crazy.
Yeah, I kind of greeted. It was unnecessary.
And you actually end up living.
Yeah, I should have died though, 100 times over. There's no reason. I mean, I was taking that without any idea of where the jungler was, which was, it's just a mistake that sometimes I get punished for like that, and it doesn't work out well. I do it a lot on Nocturne specifically, but yeah, if the jungler shows up, I'm dead.
So like what like in your mind at this point, you probably want to start getting to the point where you're going to be going to the side lane eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm getting to the strong enough point. I guess it's kind of hard. Like I can always match the Galio, but like I don't think I beat Jax.
Wait, I have a question. Did you buy this stopwatch?
Yes, I did buy that stopwatch.
Huh.
It's I don't know. I feel like this was another mistake I made this game, was my build. I got a stopwatch and I didn't finish Zhonya's very quickly.
I just think in general, like buying a stopwatch just at this point is just kind of just bad, right? Because like you got to think about it. Like I think you bought this like maybe like 5 or so minutes ago.
Yeah, I probably did.
Yes, you just gotta like realize obviously the stopwatch is okay, but like in general you should just really not be putting yourself in a position where you're gonna need the stopwatch, right?
Yeah.
2, since you were like the most fed player for a little bit, you were like 3-1-2. Like obviously your teammates have kind of gotten fed at this point, right?
Yeah.
You're basically spending money in a defensive item, right? Like you're not spending your money in a way to keep pushing your lead further.
That's true. It doesn't really It only helps in like a niche situation where like I go in and ult and then Zanya or like stopwatch and then they can't do anything to me. But that's like
Yeah.
not very reliable. I guess it's like the wet dream of Diana to go in, get a 5-man ult, and then like stopwatch.
Oh, you also gotta
But
realize, like, even then, like, a lot of people not off of that, but those plays are usually for like more later in the game, right? Because
yeah,
if you're flashing in on like 3 or 4 people right here, or like even like three, like, you obviously, you don't. It's not like you're gonna need your Zonyas instantly, right?
sure. If I'm going in, I'm probably at an advantage anyway.
So, like, also, like, one thing here is the stopwatch is building into Zonyas, and it's just like, do you really need Zonyas this game, like, this early on? Like, you're going straight into Hextech Protoball into, like, Zonyas, right? Like,
Yeah,
the build is just, it just doesn't make sense, because, like, also, if you're just playing Electrocute, you just want as much burst as possible, right? Like, you
that's
just want to
true.
get, like, and you're just going straight for defensive items, like, just thought process wise, like, you're just wasting, like, your lead, basically, in terms of money.
Mm.
Where, like, if you want to think about it, like, right now, you might be 3, 2, and 4, but like this Galio effectively actually has more money than you, just off of his items.
Yeah,
Because he has a Fiendish and you have a you have a stopwatch. He also has a broken stopwatch, but he's basically up 900 gold on you.
yeah. He does have a lot more AP than me at this point.
So like actually, this is actually the major throw of the game here actually. Because obviously we know what the end game factor is going to be in this game, and it's basically Kai'Sa 1v5s, right?
Yes.
So like what I'm thinking here is like imagine you didn't have a like let's say this was just a fiendish codex or even like a blasting one, right?
Sure. Yeah, that might kill actually. Yeah, she's dead at that point for sure.
Yeah.
She drops to like 100 HP.
Also, the funny thing here as well. This is where your electrocute rune is ass, by the way. Alright, electrocute basically did no damage, right?
Yeah, it was really insignificant, for sure.
The funny thing is if you actually had phase rush here instead of electrocute, you wouldn't actually have to use your like another E to go on this guy. You actually could have just phase rush running at this guy the whole time.
That's true.
Actually,
Well, since my Vayne is going, I guess I could have just sprinted at her.
I actually think the biggest mistake here is like is your Q actually back up?
Um, I guess we
I
can
actually
see.
think I actually think you just don't play Diana aggressive enough, like low key.
Hmm.
Let's watch like what let's just watch here for a second, because this is a big throw of this game. This is actually probably the turning point of this game, to be honest. All right, let's just like watch, right? You actually had a perfect timing of going in because your Q is probably about to fall off, and your Q's up in a second, right?
Yeah.
So here you instantly just like W ult, right? You pull them in, and here your click's actually bad.
Yeah,
Like
I click
remember how we were talking
backwards.
about the click?
Yeah.
You're going away. Where like here, you've kind of locked yourself into just you need to kill this guy, right?
Sure.
Like you want to kill this guy.
Yeah, he should die at this point. I mean, I go in, I'm full HP under tower. I've got plenty of time. And my
So,
Q
yeah, I
is
mean,
back
like
up.
yeah,
Huh.
like you're good to go. And also your Pyke has ult, so he's ready to just go boom boom, get you guys like fucking 1,000 gold, right? Where here, actually, the thing is your portable actually allowed you to get this because you portabolted and got your ult damage back in on this guy. Where like you actually were basically walking your ult damage out of this guy. Where like at this point now, if you just EQ'd on this guy, he's dead. Like you don't even have to reset your E. If you just EQ,
Yeah.
because if you E and then you Q instantly on top of him, it's basically undodgeable and he's just dead. And obviously it gets to the point now where you wait too long and then he gets healed, and then your Vayne dies off of it.
That's true. I feel like that's something that I don't think about a lot. Like after I go in, I'm not cognizant or I'm not aware of my Q cooldown like after I go in, just because like my instinct is to
You just
uh
burst and get out.
yeah, like burst and get out, like lay down my combo and run. But I'm never like thinking about when is my cooldown up so I can keep going.
Yeah, or that was like the biggest throw of the game, actually.
Yeah, she got greedy.
All right, obviously you're gonna shove this in, then you're gonna base because you're seeing a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what you buy. Thank God. I've been upset at you if you didn't buy that.
Yeah, I think I go Oblivion Orb into Death Cap, but I don't know if I should have finished. I feel like I really shouldn't have to finish Morello because they only have a Soraka, but my team was like really. I don't know if they're flaming me, but they're like, none of you guys have Grievous Wounds, even though Vayne had it. I don't know. I don't think I should ever have to finish Morello in this situation.
Funnily enough, you can see my like normal client now, right?
Yeah. Well, I can. Yeah, I can see your OP.GG.
All right, my OP.GG here. Actually, funnily enough, everyone always flames me for this. All right, here's the typical person who everyone thinks is like the best Diana one trick in Korea, right? Like obviously he just fell out of Master Tier.
Sure.
Like funny enough, this guy's been playing Phase Rush Diana forever, right? He was playing Phase Rush Diana even when Diana was like pre-reworked.
And he finishes Morello so often.
He goes Morello second every game, like every game. Like if you look at this game, right? They don't even have that much healing, but he always goes Morello second every game.
Wow. That's interesting. I don't know. I guess.
Obviously, most people think it's just bad because
Yeah.
obviously, like it's just not a very cost-efficient item. But it seems like he's kind of stopped playing the game as much. But he does it every game. Like the only times he doesn't is when he feels like he needs to go Zhonya's earlier.
Yeah. So maybe it wouldn't be. Like,
I
as
probably
bad.
would have completed your Morellos here, by the way.
Yeah.
Just because even if you do more damage from going like a Death Cap here, it doesn't matter if you do more damage if Soraka's just out healing your damage.
That's that's what it felt like later in this game. It's just my damage didn't matter because it was just instantly healed. I guess that's true.
You should have kept going, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is bad. Oof. Yeah, I'm not proud of this fight. I for some reason think I think I was assuming that Garen had TP, but he's literally not had TP the entire game.
All right. First of all, the issue here is you walked back. This goes actually back to your clicks, right?
Yeah.
You like your position and the way you are playing this game right now. Like, obviously, in your mind, you clicking backwards makes it seem like that you don't want to go for this play anymore, right? Because you're walking away.
Sure.
But since your team it notices that you're sitting in this bush, they think you want to go in. So they literally want to go in. They're pressing forward now. But you pressed backwards, and then now you changed your mind.
And
right?
it puts me just out of range of Soraka too.
Yeah, like you changed your mind, and then now he body blocked you, and now you can't go on this rock anymore because you're just too far, right? Where like obviously it just kind of sucks that I can't just go back by seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think that Riot would have that as an option.
Also, in general, one of your issues here is you're not actually at the peak of the bush either. Like you could be standing way more. You could be standing like here in this bush, right? And you'd still be in the fog of war.
Sure.
Where like obviously in your head, like you want to kill this rock here, right? She just
Yeah, she's the target. Otherwise, she's gonna heal everybody.
Yeah, but since you actually had that click backwards, it ended up fucking you on this.
I don't even think I get my E reset on her. I think I just
No, you
whiff.
didn't. You missed your Q, actually. You missed
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, just no damage.
And then, you missing your Q here because you walked backwards is actually what ends up fucking this.
Yeah, I think in my mind I was thinking that I was closer, but I had clicked backwards, so I was too far. I think that's actually a reason. Yeah, okay. Because that happens a lot actually, where I feel like I'm in range of Q, and I know that I should be, but for whatever reason, like I'm just
No,
out of range.
the funny thing is you're actually outside of your Q range because of your click backwards.
Yeah, like, I'm just clicking backwards right before a fight, and then, or right like, just in like when they start running at me, I instinctually click backwards when I really should just know what my goal of being there in the first place is, and like
Yeah.
playing for
You
that.
guys are still up a lot of gold, but the thing is their team is fucking nuts later in this game.
Yeah, they have a really strong like hard to kill comp.
But funny thing as well, this taking this inhibitor actually isn't good for you guys.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that, or in the team, where like that's just one less lane that we can farm. Like we don't we have
It's
to
one
fight
less
now.
lane for you guys, and it's one more lane for their double hyper carries later in the game.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute inhibitor, and we can't do anything off of it.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, like now it's kind of just the same thing now where this would be a position where you would just be better off having Conquer or Electrocute or Phasers right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just to keep up with Galio, if he didn't have flash, I would have been able to keep going. Yeah, I really think that I'm not going to be running Electrocute anymore. It just makes sense. Not
I like this, by the way.
to
You're taking everything you can. Oh, you're depressed.
I was so sad after that. I just didn't
That's
think
really...
that it was going to do so much damage.
It's kind of like another thing where you could have just took those Krugs as well.
Yeah, yeah, just maximizing how much gold I'm getting.
But your base is good for getting this Baron.
That's true.
Funnily enough, you actually weren't even needed to be here.
Yeah, it was like uncontested. Until it was. Oh crap. We actually just got smashed.
I kind of just spent through that fight not actually looking what you were doing.
Yeah, this is a huge throw actually.
Yeah, this is massive.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like we should be able to win this fight, but we lose a man really quickly, so I don't know.
Well, first of all, I think you soft-inted by just walking straight forward at that Kais when you didn't have your E anymore.
Yeah, yeah. There's not like I had to turn away, and because yeah, it was a mistake. I had to run away, and she just auto attacked me to death essentially.
Or yeah, I think you should have just been walking backwards earlier, since you already know that you can't keep up with this guy, and then also since you since you just stood there so long taking so much damage, and then you ended up walking backwards, you just gave this guy an escape to go for more kills, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think I should have just like, after I ulted, just kind of committed to the Soraka and not?
Yeah, 100% coming to the Sakura.
Yeah, because that would
Like
have solid.
the thing there is like, in your mind, you need to understand that like you aren't going to be able to kill this Kai'Sa anymore, right?
True.
So at that point, you don't want to put yourself in a way of just, I mean, you just basically just ran in, right? As soon as she flashes, you turn around and you go for these people.
Yeah, no, definitely. 'Cause I don't have any means of getting onto her. Yeah, that was just bad to run at her like that. If it were any other ADC, I wouldn't have been punished for it, but because she wouldn't have been able to ult to me.
Well, yeah, the thing is you still just kind of mint your health bar, right? Like, there's no reason to be walking, even if that's just like a Jhin, right?
Yeah,
There's no reason to be walking at him at that point anymore. You just need to turn around and kill those other two people.
that's true. Definitely. Yeah, I just have to be a bit more aware of who I actually can kill. I think that's something I get lost in, is like sometimes I'll like lose track of my own cooldowns when I'm playing Diana in these team fights.
Yeah, that's also another scenario where, like, if you're going for an E ult like W and you're not actually getting your Q for a reset off, those are times where phase rush is just always better than life shoot, by the way. Because, like, imagine if you had phase rush there and you were able to just run at the Kai'Sa with your R. Even then, you weren't going to kill her anyways because you just don't do enough damage anymore.
Yeah, it would have been an option if she were like weaker and I were stronger, though.
Yeah. But we're also slowly getting we're slowly and slowly getting more to the point where you guys are just going to start losing. Because your comp slowly just becomes worse than theirs. Even if you're up 6k gold like you guys are now, that doesn't change the fact that your guys' comp just sucks compared to theirs.
Yeah, that's what it feels like this game. Like it felt like we had been winning the game for so long, and then all of a sudden the Kai'Sa was just strong enough to turn the game around.
I still think that goes back to the point where, like, there's a couple massive throws from you actually in this game.
Yeah, and had I not made those mistakes, she would have died like 2 or 3 times.
It would probably be a lot more different right now.
Yeah, yeah. The game would look a lot different actually, definitely.
All right. Well, here's already a misplay. I like you just right-clicking this in front of his face, like you don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this goes back to the same thing where your clicks just aren't very good, right?
Sure.
One, you should not be scared at all to ever E on top of this guy. Even if he's just going to press W and you're going to get taunted, it just doesn't matter, right?
I should be running towards the people that I'm.
You want to be like the damage this guy will do to you is just minimal compared to like how much damage you can save off of the Vayne, right?
Sure.
So like there's like one thing that could be going through your head right now. If you eated this guy earlier or were just clicking forward in general, you guys may have been able to like do something here. And then also here, there's the one mistake I actually see here is this is an easy E flat or flash hold.
That's true. Like you mean like Eing and then flashing onto the Kai'Sa?
Yeah, R flash, right?
Sure.
It's like, so here, let's just go through it for a second too. So literally after he's used his whole combo on this guy, you already should have been eating at this guy, right? To either just be right-clicking him. So like,
Yeah.
what could be going in your head at this point? Like obviously, if your camera's just sitting right here, you don't really see the scar going in if your camera's positioned poorly. Like let's say this is your camera, right? Like this is centered on you.
Mm.
Obviously, this camera positioning is really bad because you have this like, if this is centered on you, you have all of this just useless vision of your camera, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So realistically, no matter what, even if this is you and your camera isn't centered right here, your camera should be more like this, right?
Yeah.
Let's say you're zoomed in a little bit more too, right? Like you should be able to at least see this in most of your camera pool right now. Also, this guy's flying in the air if you don't see that. But so, what your job in this fight is? Obviously, this guy will never die to the Galio, right? This Galio's job in this game is to just delay you guys from getting onto his Kai'Sa. That's his whole job this entire game. To press R on the Kai'Sa or to delay you guys from hitting the Kai'Sa.
Sure.
Your job this game is to be flash ulting their backline, or just ulting their backline in general. Like you're trying to assassinate these guys.
Yes.
Or it's also the same thing. You want to try and assassinate these guys, and you also want to delay time because in this game it's basically a battle of which AD carry kills the enemy team quicker.
Yeah, if
It's
I
either
get
gonna
my
be a battle of Kai'Sa right clicking you guys harder, or the Vayne killing everybody, right? Even though the Kai'Sa is more fed than this Vayne can still kill everyone pretty easily.
That's true.
So like, what would be going in my head in this fight right now is like, this Galio will die to this Vayne eventually. So you either you E under this guy earlier to start damaging him, and then also you can build up your passive, right? So like, what you could be thinking here is like, you E under this guy right now. He taunts you for a second, but you've prepped your 2 autos, and then you'd be like right here instead of here, right?
Sure.
And then what you could have done is, obviously this guy flashes away as soon as he gets out of this.
Yeah.
This is very just like, this is just very mechanical, right? Where like in your mind, bada bing, bada boom, you have exactly the opportunity that you want in this game right now.
Yeah, they're paired up. Kai'Sa has no flash. Soraka has no flash. It's a guaranteed ult hit if I just flash onto them.
And your job is to either kill one of these 2 people.
That's true. And that doesn't happen.
No.
And so we end up losing.
The sad thing is you guys end up somewhat winning this when like you gotta realize your Vayne is like kind of turbo inting this game, and she's actually being more useful than you right now. When you were the fed one earlier in this game.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, she's actually kind of popping off there. Of course, she took that play knowing that it was going to have to be a pop off, but
yeah, but the thing is like, imagine if you put like out like a little bit more damage in that fight, or like imagine if you did you basically actually did nothing in that fight.
Yeah, essentially my ult did nothing. It did nothing.
Essentially, all you did that fight was you were just a meat bag for a couple of seconds for the Kai'Sa to hit. Like, you didn't actually do any damage to anybody.
That's true.
If we want to think about that, because you didn't ult the Kai'Sa or the Soraka, so you basically actually did 0 damage to that fight. Like the memes in LCS where like they'll show like the damage charts at the end of the end of fights, and like someone will say lol 0 or like lol 300. That's where you would have been right now.
Yeah. Oh no. True.
Actually, like literally, actually.
Yeah. 100%. God dang it.
So I actually think your biggest flaw right now on Diana is you're just not it's almost like you're playing her as if you were like a backline mage.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not playing her aggressive enough.
You're not playing her to her potential, right? You're playing her like something like how you'd be playing like an Orianna.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good assessment. I think that my mentality with Diana has definitely shifted away from like assassinating people. Like with Zed, like I go in and I'm dying as long as I kill the ADC or my target, whoever's.
Yeah, I think you should have the same thought process as you do on Diana. Your job is to either put out a lot of DPS on people. Like your job is to just be like a fucking like spirit bomb, right? Like you go in there, you try to hit as many people on your R as possible. You do as much damage as you can with your little bursts, and then you either Zhonya's or you're dead.
No, I think that had I had that mentality, that would be, because I am mechanical enough to be able to land those like just like flashing after my R and sticking onto the Kai'Sa a bit better in the fights, or like having
like
better
obviously
target selection.
That is that snare for this fight, but the thing is the way you've been playing has been the same thing this whole entire game, right? Like the same thing with like that Galio at level 3 where you could have got his flash. If you were just more like fucking right clicking this guy and just like knowing like what you could do and when you could do it, right?
Sure.
You may have got a kill there, right, as well. Same thing with down here. If you were more aggressive and you weren't just clicking backwards and you were just like right clicking in, like it's like I feel like you'd probably be having more success on Diana if you were literally just turboing. Like if you just fucking ran in like a retard, just trying to get as much damage off as possible before you died, you'd probably actually have more success than you do right now. Because the thing is if that play ended up working out and you got like a double kill here, your next turbo run it down at them would be more easier to do because you're just more fed, right?
Yeah, as long as I get like a kill out of it, I have more gold to work with.
Yeah. And then it's just the thing is like playing safe like that earlier down here allowed this guy to get back in the game, right? Same thing with like over here, playing a little bit more safe over here just allowed her to win. Your team actually ended up smurfing it, and then now you guys are just falling behind on this Kai'Sa's fed.
Sure. Yeah, I actually just get one shot at the beginning of that fight, and I think getting one shot there is just a product of all the mistakes leading up to it. If she
Yeah,
wasn't
I
that
mean,
strong in the beginning.
it's obviously hindsight, right? Like, obviously, there's like a lot of factors, right? Like, obviously, if you were more fed, like maybe that wouldn't happen, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of factors to it, right? Like, you're actually up like 11, like 3,000 gold, but this Galio is still effectively being basically as useful, if not more useful than you,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, this game's just over at this point. There's like actually just nothing you can do, and like basically the only way you win this game at this point is if this Kai'Sa just plays really fucking bad, because Kai'Sa has this.
Yeah, yeah, she's got the Raka, and yeah, it's just so hard to kill her at this point.
You guys are on a clock at this point, and this Kai'Sa hasn't been playing bad enough to like actually just end up losing this game. You guys are literally up 7k gold, but it looks like you guys are down 7k gold in these fights, right?
That's what it feels like. Yeah.
So that's actually, and I guarantee you, like these plays where like you're not actually being aggressive enough, or like knowing what you can go for, um, is actually probably losing you a lot of games, and it probably happens in a lot of your games, right? Like situations like that guy at level 3, like down here. Um, I think it's just more like the way you are like wanting to play Diana is clashing with the way how you're supposed to actually play Diana, right?
Yeah, no, the only reason like I pick Diana so much is like I don't actually enjoy playing her that much.
Mhm.
I just she I play her for consistency. I
Yeah.
like playing Zed because I know the limits of Zed really well. I like to think I do. Uh,
Well, I mean,
but
obviously you're winning a lot on him, right? Like you're actually winning a lot more on these champions than you are on Diana.
yeah, with Diana, the only reason I pick her is because she's just harder to punish than a lot of champions. I'm not picking her to be aggressive, and I think that's it cost me a lot of games because I'm not playing because I'm playing her for like an Oriana, like a safe mage that can
Yeah.
still one shot people.
See,
But
I think you actually have the wrong thought process, right? Like
yeah,
you shouldn't be playing Diana because you feel like she is not punishable, right? Like that's not the thought process you want to have going into it into these games. Like because I guarantee you going into these games thinking that you're gonna trash on your laner with Zed, right?
yeah, every time.
Like you're gonna be playing to be up like 50 CS, killing them a couple times, and like as you can tell, you're winning more with this guy, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I actually just think like your thought process on behind Diana is actually like why. Like, imagine if you were as good as Diana as you were at Zed, and this was a 61% win ratio equal to this, right? You would be diamond.
Yeah, easily. Huh.
Even then, like if you actually made this win ratio like 57% or 52, like you were just a little bit like more comfortable, like maybe comfortable is not like the best word, but like you know what I mean, right? Like maybe this champion was also a champion that you did really well on, like this, right? Like your playstyle clicked with her. You were doing like what you should do at every point in the game. You would be diamond, right? Like you wouldn't be plat one
That's true.
because you got to think about like how many games you've played on Diana, right? Like let's say there was 14 less losses and 14 more wins, right?
Yeah, it'd be
That's
huge.
probably effectively an extra like 180 LP, which would be like you wouldn't be plat one. So you want to think about that way as well. I actually think that's the biggest thing. I think you're just kind of zoning in on the Diana, right? Where obviously, I guarantee you in all these 20 games, you're playing the same way every time, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm not playing very aggressive in a lot of them. I mean, there's some matchups that I feel like I can hard abuse and I play really aggressive, but like if
Yeah.
I'm against a Galio or a like that Vigar game that's just like right below, like I hard punish that Vigar because he I don't I know that matchup a lot better. but against like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Galio, my mentality was just trash, and I'm not looking for kills. I was just looking to be like a consistent non-inter for the team,
The thing is
and
if you're
it's
if you're if your whole process of just wanting to be a consistent non-enter for your team, you should be playing Galio.
it's true. Yeah, yeah, and that's just no fun. I, I hate champions like that, but I've literally become what I swore to destroy. God dang it.
Because like the thing is like you gotta realize you're playing it like an aggressive like full damage like diving assassin, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But you have done less damage than this Galio that you were up like 4K gold on.
Yeah, and that's a trend like I've been noticing it's just that my damage numbers on Diana are always lower than what I feel like I could be achieving.
Yeah, and
Almost always.
that's probably just coming back to the point of like you're just not playing her aggressively, right?
Yeah, I play her like to not make mistakes, and that like lets my teammates carry if they're in that kind of position, so I win games still. Like, but
Yeah, well that's more
it's
coin
not
flip,
enough.
right? Like you're just hoping your teammates are better than theirs.
Exactly, it's a 50% win rate essentially.
Yeah, like literally actually like just you gotta think about it, right?
Yeah, it's actually just
But
a
like
coin flip champion.
but like the thing is like with the way like your thought process and what you've basically been telling me on how you play Diana, like you're actually not playing her in a way where you're like actually getting better at the game,
Sure.
right? Like you're not getting better at the champion, you're not getting better at the game. You're just kind of just trying to be um you're just trying to not int, right? And that just comes down to the 50% rate thing, right?
Yeah.
Like for most people, okay, I actually have the same thing. It's like or like the like your highest winnage, like your most played champion shouldn't be your 50% win rate, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. It
usually
shouldn't be.
your most played champion is usually the champion that you're the best at, right? Like you pick them when you think you can win, and you usually perform the best at them or something, right? Or like it's like 58, 54, 58, right?
Sure.
Let's not talk about that. Rip that, okay? Um, but the thing is your highest and most played champion is actually your 50% win rate, and that's the champion. You're basically just saying that you don't want to be the reason why your team loses, but the champions you're picking that where you want to win and you're going to be the hard carry of your team, those are the champions you actually have the highest win ratio on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like imagine
Definitely.
if you actually I want to think about this. Like if you put this into perspective, if you flopped the Diana and the Zed here, like this was 61% win ratio with 121 games, 121, and this was 52 with 79, you'd be diamond.
It's true. I'd have a lot more
So
LP.
yeah. So like it's like the biggest thing I want to put out because like um that's actually like probably why that you have been stagnating right now is because you're playing a lot of Diana. But the thing is the way your thought process has been with Diana isn't allowing you to actually improve at her fast enough to, like be Diamond 4 with Diana, right?
Sure.
I think that's actually the biggest thing because, like, let's be honest. If we just look at your Z stats, right? Like, you're popping off. Like, you're actually like you say, like, you want to trash on your lane opponents and you want to carry the games. You're doing that with Zed, right? You have 20 fucking kills. You have 21 kills, right? 8, 2, and 6, 9, 8, and 4. Even in the games you're losing, you're like popping off, right? Like,
Yeah.
even this 66, 67, you're farming way better with Zed than you are with Diana. Like, you're doing a lot more with Zed because, he just clicks with you, right? You know what you should be doing at the points in the game, right? To carry the game.
Sure.
But the thing is with when you're playing Diana, you're probably just like right. You're not playing you. You're just trying to be the rock, right? And that's not what you want to be when you play like when you're playing the games, right?
Yeah. I want to be the hard carry every single time. Like I should be one of the strongest players on the team, and I should enable myself to do that.
And like the thing is like imagine if you played like these two Z games you did in a row, or even like this Diana game, right? Like you probably played more aggressive in this Diana game, or your Graves was just a monster and you're able to follow up on him, right?
I Yeah, I can't remember how that went. I think I really hinted to me a few
But like,
times,
but
but
like
yeah.
these games, you are the fucking winning factor of your team, right? You have the most damage in the game, and you are just trashing on everyone, right? Like, imagine also if you just had like more CS this game too or something, right? It's just like maybe I think your CS numbers are a little weak, but um,
Sure.
I think that's actually like on why you're not really improving that fast.
Yeah,
I think your
it's been a slow
mentality of
climb.
Diana and the way you're playing her just isn't clashing on with just getting better at the champion. Also, I think you're just kind of autopiloting your runes. Like, I think that's another thing too. It goes back to the same thing where obviously hindsight, when we talked about this game, you knew that you should have just you're building your runes, but you didn't because you're just autopiloting this champion.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
You're not thinking of like what you should be doing to win every game when you play this champion. You're just autopiloting her. Like she's your autopilot champion, and this is you don't want this.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It's like a crutch. I don't know, and it's something I really should just get away from because it's not helping me. It's just stagnating me.
Yeah, it's stagnating you, which is if you're not playing hundreds of games, right?
Yeah, I only play a few games a day.
Yeah, this really isn't that much, right? And if you're not playing hundreds and like if you're not playing 1,000 games, right?
Sure.
Champions like this Diana are actually like holding you back, right? Where like if you only played these three champions, you probably would be diamond right now.
Yeah.
Even though I know you probably don't like playing the Talia mid because she's not really super great. You still
Yeah,
have
I
better
kind of stopped.
performances on her than you did on the Diana. And
Yeah,
even then, your Talia actually gives you a pretty good champion that you could play when you're autofilled bot.
that's true. I've been playing top lane as my secondary with Nocturne, and
Oh dear.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. I feel I go back and forth between thinking that I should just play Talia ADC and playing Nocturne top because I feel like they're equally troll. Well, my teammates
I
will
think
view it as equally troll.
I think if you're doing with somebody, Talia AD carry is definitely way better.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely if I'm duo.
Cause I'll tell you right now, Talia AD carry is fucking god tier.
Yeah,
Actually,
especially with like Pantheon or
if you're
Nautilus
dealing
or
with
something.
somebody here, I'm gonna show you right now. These people. This is Max Waldo and Neon. As you can see, a good duo Pantheon Talia. Let's just say it trashes on everybody.
It's disgusting. It really
Even
is.
in rank 10 challenger, he's a 67% ratio with Talia.
Yeah.
Playing Talia bot lane. Obviously, he entered this game, but hey, this game was versus me actually. But yeah, um,
Yeah, I think that Talia, like if I had a support duo, I have duoed with a support player every now and then, but like that I feel like it's free wins whenever we do that, for sure. Talia's a lot
yeah.
of fun to play. I just don't play her in mid as much because she's just got so many bad matchups, and she's kind of coin flippy the way I just.
I'll
risk
still
one
be
on one.
honest. Even if she has bad matchups, even if you're just better at Talia and you're playing her more consistently than you do this Diana, it doesn't matter if she's bad in mid.
Yeah, I'll still be doing more in the games, doing more damage, being more useful.
Is this guy playing Talia bot lane?
It looks like he is. Well, yeah.
He is. Mostly, yeah. But like I don't know. Even if Talia is not great in mid lane, I still think playing a suboptimal champion is if you consistently play Talia better than you do Diana, even if she's slightly a better champion mid lane, it doesn't matter because if you're just more comfortable and more consistent on Talia, even if she is an overall worse champion mid lane, as you can see, you literally have a higher win ratio on her.
Yeah, I actually
Right?
I had like a 65% until like I lost went on big losing streak with her. I had a huge winner with Talia on like 80 games or something. I haven't played her in months though. Like I took a pretty
Yeah.
big break.
Even if Talia isn't like a really popular mid lane champion, people still play her every now and then. Like I know I don't know who it is. There is still Talia mid one tricks, by the way.
Yeah, I've run into a few every now and then, and I just usually
Obviously,
play
it's
like
not like
Zed
a
or
super
something.
common champion, but I legitimately feel like, because I remember you really liked Talia, and I think you actually played her pretty well. I think this guy's
Yeah.
actually a mid lane Talia player. Oh wait, maybe I lied. Okay, he plays both. And this is mid lane Talia this game. Um, I actually legitimately think you probably would have more higher success on Talia mid than you would on Diana, actually. Because I don't think you're actually playing Diana because you actually want to get better at the champion. I think you're just autopiloting Diana because you just feel like she's consistent.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the only reason I've been playing Diana. Like, I play Zed and Nocturne to win games. Right now, like if I get them, I feel way better. If I get
Yeah.
Diana, then it's definitely more of a coin flip.
So I mean, yeah, you actually, I feel like you just told me your legitimate problem. Like, you just straight up just said it. You're
Yeah,
playing Nocturne and Zed to win your games, but you're playing Diana just to not lose your games.
yeah, yeah. I leave it up to my teammates essentially, and it's not a good way to play it. It's not. I'm not improving as a player when I play
Yeah,
Diana
yeah.
right now. It's just
And it makes sense because you yourself just said that you feel like you were starting to stagnate a lot more in this elo, right? You don't feel like you're crushing your lanes as much.
yeah, yeah. I'm not smashing like.
But the thing is you legitimately just said that you're playing Diana to not crush your lanes.
Yeah, yeah. I still win lanes with like Zed
Oh
fairly
yeah,
often, but with Diana, no. I mean, I always just get like pretty much even farm, and then that's it.
yeah. Where like I feel like in that Galio game, you could have taken over that game really easily.
Yeah, I think there was multiple opportunities. Had I just been like forward clicking and playing a bit more aggressive, I would have had like easily 3 or 4 more kills um, before the mid game, and then that could have just changed the entire
That could have made
pace.
the whole difference. Yeah, you probably would have more farm. It would have been easier to kill more people. Yeah, it's just like there's a bunch of factors, right?
Sure, definitely.
But I just think like legitimately moving on from here, that's actually like the thing you'd want to work on. Like I think either you need to just stop playing Diana because you're just trying to like pigeonhole yourself into like a champion that you don't really care about because you just think you perform averagely on it. But thing is, you don't want to do that if you actually want to get better at the game or you want to climb, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
sure.
because like the thing is like yeah, you could just play Diana for thousands of games with a 52% ratio and eventually slowly climb. But if you're not playing League that much, like at this point, I feel like you're actually like withholding yourself from getting better and also just having fun by playing Diana rather than playing the champions that you actually like playing and you feel like you're doing well on.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I would rather just play a lot more Zed. It's just I'm never like willing to first pick him or blind pick him, just because like so many people just pick Rammus or something and make it a really unfun game to play. Like, or the enemy team will like pick a ton of armor champs, a lot of shielding and stuff.
Oh, yeah, obviously you want to play. You don't want to just first pick Zed and get them a lot of armor, but obviously you could always hope that your teammates pick up, you know, um, AP for you, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, sometimes they don't, and it's so infuriating. I will hover Zed, and then and that's I guess part of my problem is like, I guess I could go back to Talia. I'm needing like an AP champion to play, and that's the only reason I play Diana is because she's like the closest thing I can get to like a mobile assassin that feels consistent that deals AP damage. Like that's my main reasoning behind her. Because I like Zed and Nocturne more, but I can't pick them in as many situations. I,
I feel like you'd be performing way better with Echo. Actually, I think Echo is just an infinitely better version of Diana, but he's harder to play.
mm. Yeah, I feel
But
like he's got like a super high skill ceiling, kind of like Zed. Like the good echoes, like
maybe
Zalai
not
Bang or something.
insanely definitely not as near close as like a fucking Z99 compared to fucking the best Echo player, right? Like I still think Zed's a way harder champion to play,
Sure.
and that's why everyone just thinks Zed's trash because Zed isn't bad. It's just performing Zed at his best point is way harder than it is to just fucking play Dan and right click at somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have played a lot of Echo in the past. I have like 100,000 mastery points or something on him, but I don't know.
But yeah,
Just haven't played him a lot.
I do think that your major issue right now is you need to like if Dinah's gonna be your most played champion, she needs to be the champion that that's the champion you want to improve on really like the most, right? You want to be playing at their most optimal level.
Sure.
So that's the thing I'd be working on if I was you right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I appreciate it. I think that will go a long way. I I might end up changing off of Diana. I don't know,
Judging
but
off
we'll
of what
see.
you've been telling me, I do think you probably should.
Yeah,
Because
I might start working on like Echo or something and picking up a pretty aggressive playstyle with him. Because I mean, he's got a similar win condition to Diana, just without the I'm gonna run like or like he wants to do pretty well on the laning phase, maybe get a kill, then go to the side lanes and then group up for some team fights and try to kill their carries.
yeah, because I think the issue with the Diana for you right now is you're not playing her because you actually want to get better at her, right? I think
True.
that's actually the biggest issue, and that's actually why I always tell everybody in my stream if they're always like, "Yo, what should I play?" Right? I want my free elo. I'm like, well, you could just play Talon every game, right? But it literally doesn't matter because if you're not a fucking going pro, right, and you don't just have the desire to be best at everything, if you know, like, let's say you're plat and you're trying to get diamond, right?
Sure.
Um, it is very clear to me that just judging off of your OPGG, I can tell that you like Zed and Nocturne because you're performing the best at them, and it's very clear that you improve at them faster than you do Diana because you can literally just tell off of win rates. You're playing Diana just because you're playing Diana, right? But you're playing Zed and Nocturne because you're having fun and you're winning,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And since you have fun at Zed, naturally, if you're enjoying something, you get better at it faster.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
it doesn't matter if Diana is an easier champion, and you probably obviously less mechanical decent champions will inflate your elo faster than playing like Zed would, right? But the thing is inflating your elo, you're gonna eventually hit a brick, right? And it's gonna be harder to get past, you know, that brick if you're only playing like, you know, a champion that you don't very enjoy
Yeah.
than it would be to just start from a lower elo and just play something that you have fun on and keep getting better at it, right? Naturally.
That's true. I mean,
Where like there's a reason why people don't like one tricks in high elo because it's the same thing. They play a champion that base okay, maybe it's a little bit different, right? But like let's say they one trick Talon and they may not like Talon very much, but they're enjoying their LP going up, right? And then they get to a point where they haven't improved at Talon fast enough, but they're at their peak rank of how they're performing on Talon, right?
mm,
And then now they try to play something else, right? But since their elo's inflated off of playing a champion that's very easy to play and that's very good, they just start playing like complete ass.
yeah, yeah. Their game sense is underdeveloped because
Yeah,
they've
but
been inflated up.
it's something like that, right? But like
Sure.
where like obviously if you're not going pro, it doesn't really matter what fucking champion you play, right? Like obviously there's tier lists, some champions are a little bit better than others, but at the end of the day, all that matters is you're just improving at the champion that you like.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think I'm gonna try to play more Zed. You know, I think picking him in, because I even try to like not pick him like even if I'm like third pick and they haven't shown a lot of their champions. But I think that I can afford to play Zed in like slightly worse situations just because I put so much time into him that I can deal with
I
that.
mean, even if it would make your team comp a little bit worse, it just doesn't matter because if you're just performing way better at Zed than you would at something else, maybe your performance on Zed carries you to that harder like game, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely happened before. Just because I'm comfortable with the win condition of the champion.
Yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
I think it's another thing. Also, I feel like you don't have to play an AP champion, right? Like you don't have to. Like you don't have to.
Yeah.
I also just like I legitimately feel like if you like the gameplay of Zed, you would also like the gameplay of Talon and Kiana.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like Kiana a decent amount. It's just I don't know. It's like the same thing as Echo. Is like I put a lot of games on them, but I don't know. Maybe it's just like a wall of confidence. Like I'm not confident enough in myself to bring them out in ranked. Like if I pick Zed, I feel like I can approach any situation and be fine. If I pick like Kiana or Echo, like I feel like I'd be fine in like 85% of those situations. But then like in
Yeah,
the situations that I just haven't come across before, I would like int, and of course I'd learn the next time. But it would hurt my elo for that game because I would throw the game.
yeah. But also at the end of the day, where it's just like, I legitimately feel like if you just played 50 games of Zed in a row right now, you'd probably be diamond.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty confident I'll get diamond this season. I got plat 1 like last week or something, and yeah, I think I'll get diamond. It's just a matter of like making sure that I'm playing at a diamond level and I want to climb to like higher diamond, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see if that happens.
Obviously, if you keep getting better at Zed, it will.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'll be better than LL Stylish. I think he's like Diamond 2 or something right now.
Stylish?
Oh yeah, I think he's been playing on a Diamond 2 account at least. I think his main account.
Oh.
I think he's given
Yeah,
up
I
on
think
his
his main
Challenger account.
Oh, well. There's also just Zed 99, so.
Yeah. I've watched so much of him. It's actually awesome that they have like live translations on his stream. It's great.
He makes Zed look really fucking OP.
Yeah. It's just he dodges everything and generally hits his abilities. And I don't understand how he plays it at such a high level with all those it's actually nuts how consistent he is with knowing what he has to do in every situation. But I'm definitely not at that point. Um, but I am closer to that point with Zed than any other champion. So
Yeah.
so I'll definitely play a lot more Zed, I think, just because I'm playing to win with Zed and not playing not to lose, like I am with Diana.
Yeah, I like to hear that. I like to hear that.
So yeah, I think that's true. But I also think that my the amount of work that I have to put into Diana to be good with Diana is fairly small. I think it's just a shift in mentality that I have to do. And then so I'll give that a try for a few games, and if it doesn't work out,
Yeah.
then I'll take
Alright.
more drastic steps.
Alright, just hit me up if you got any questions, baby.
All right, yeah, perfect. Thanks. I've been
Catch you later.
enjoying the streams, so
Alright, see you later, man.
yeah, I'll see you.
Peace out.